Welcome, welcome back to my channel, guys. I've been waiting for this day. I really have. Of course, I know it's not all over. It's one of those things times will tell. But I've definitely been waiting for this day to make this video. To my returning subs, hello guys, you know I love you. If you're new here and you're interested, I do tarot readings, discussions, that kind of stuff. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm just going to kind of jump right into it, okay? So if you've been with me for a while, you know that I started this, honestly, I started the YouTube channel and the tarots on Fort Hood. That was my main goal, was raise awareness to what's going on at Fort Hood. I have a very small voice. I can only write so many letters. I can only do so much. I can only contribute so much. So my next step was, you know what, I'm going to go to YouTube. And trust me, I was the last person in the world you would ever expect to have a YouTube channel. Honestly, never even got on YouTube, hardly. Anyway, doesn't matter. So yesterday, Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy came out and announced 14 firings and suspension among commanders and lower level leaders as a result of an investigation into a pattern of sexual assault, harassment, suicides, and murder at the Fort Hood Army Post in Killeen, Texas. That is a quote, not my words. I will have, that's off cbsnews.com. Everything I say I'll have in my descriptions, okay? There was an independent review there at Fort Hood. It was ordered by Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy. I have to say, guys, and some people can argue with me, that's fine. I read energies, honestly, and Secretary Ryan McCarthy, to me, he's truly driven. He's on a mission. You know what I mean? I think he's a good guy. I think as long as he's leading this, as long as he's part of this, we're going to get what we need. And these soldiers can once again be safe. Because, you know, all that stuff about, oh, there's all this crime in Killeen. That's why it was happening. They looked into that. All those excuses were nipped in the bud. So, this committee that came in and assessed Fort Hood, I'll have the link in the descriptions. It's a 152-page document, you guys, so I'm not going to put you through that. I'll tell you some of the findings. Number one was the implementation of the SHARP program at Fort Hood has been ineffective due to command climate that failed to instill SHARP program core values below the brigade level. And there's a lot on that. It shows in here there was universal fear of retaliation, exposure, ostracization for reporting violations. There was a pervasive lack of confidence in the program. It's bad. Okay, so that's kind of the findings for that. Number two is there is strong evidence that incidences of sexual assault and sexual harassment at Fort Hood are significantly underreported. So these poor people are just dealing with it. Finding number three, the Army SHARP program is structurally flawed. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I can't tell you the exact meaning of SHARP, but the SHARP program is there to help those that are being sexually harassed. They're supposed to be able to go to this. It's a program. It's their go-to when they're being sexually harassed or that kind of thing. Where they get the help. And it seems, from what I'm reading, people had no confidence in this. Well, not all of them, but All right, was that finding number? Yeah. Finding number 4. The Fort Hood CID office had various inefficiencies that adversely impacted accomplishments of its mission. Now, CID is the Criminal Investigation Division there on the base. Their job is to look. Their job, like we all know about Vanessa Guillen, their job was to investigate what happened to her. A lot of what this is saying within the CID investigations, the flaws were, it took them an extremely long time. They were extremely under-resourced, over-assigned, very inexperienced. They said something about, a lot of this being like a training facility. Like, they'd come right out of training straight to Fort Hood. Finding number 5 was the mechanics of the Army's adjudication process involving sexual assault and sexual harassment degrade confidence in the SHARP program. A lot of long delays. It took them so long that, they just, to get anything done, it was kind of like, what's the point of reporting? Just gonna sit in an office, is kind of how they felt. It says here there was, victims of sexual assault said they were not kept informed. There's all kinds of stuff there. Finding number 6 was Fort Hood public relations and incident management have deficiencies, you think? All their transparency. Anyway. Finding number 7 was there were no established procedures for first-line supervisors in failure to report situations that define appropriate action in the critical first hours. All right, so what I understood listening to McCarthy's speech yesterday, now he's putting it into writing. He's putting it in there that they have to look for these soldiers within the first 48 hours. Those are the most crucial times. They also have to, their job right now, what they're looking at is building a better rapport with their soldiers, with their soldiers' families, knowing their soldiers, knowing when this stuff will be out of character. That's a good start. He's going to make it to where before their AWOL, deserter, he confides with the families confide with. They're changing that. So that is a really good thing. Because there's been so many, Gregory Wendell Morales, he was AWOL, and then his remains were found. You know what I mean? Nobody started looking for him immediately. Nobody started looking for Vanessa immediately. So, there's that, and that's what I understood from what he said. Alright, finding number 8 was the criminal environment within surrounding cities and counties is commensurate with or lower than similar sized areas. However, there are unaddressed crime problems on Fort Hood because the installation is in a fully reactive posture. It says here too, crime rates at Fort Hood are higher compared to other installations, FORSCOM and the Army. Fort Hood has experienced a historically high rate and number of sexual assaults and incidences. Alright, and finding number 9. The command climate at Fort Hood has been permissive of sexual harassment and sexual assault. They had other observations too. Soldiers in the greatest need do not seem to avail themselves of mental behavioral health assistance, possibly because of misperceptions and or fear of disclosure. I saw this, found mold in the barracks, family housings, quality of life issues. They have a lot of recommendations, which, from what I understand, McCarthy's going to take all of them. The sharp structure, implementation of sharp program, legal component of the sharp program, missing soldier protocol, crime prevention response, command climate issues. There's a lot there. Now, from my understanding, I don't want to get this completely wrong and give you guys false information. I believe Eflon has been either suspended or fired. They said they did not suspend Pat White because he was in was he in Iraq? He was deployed. So I can't remember right off the top of my head where he was. He was deployed for 13 months, and what they're pretty much saying is that the leader on the base is the one that sets, the climate, in a sense. The one that's there on base, that's allowing this and this to happen. That, I did a reading on Eflon, and I even said that I felt like he knew, but he was just grossly negligent. And, there were some things in here I read that were really disturbing to me. Some of them being like, well, if a woman can't handle how, men are going to talk and how they're going to act, they shouldn't be joining the army. I don't think it has so much to do with how you talk or how you act, because as I was reading, there were actually reports of serious rape. I don't know if I can say that. Are they going to... Can I say that? Forced... There's, like I said, 152 pages, and there was some horrible stuff in here. What's awesome is they got a huge response from the people at Fort Hood. They did group meetings, they did individual meetings, they met with the Guillen family. I really think they're working hard to make some changes here. And, I watched Pat White's too. And I can't really explain the feeling I got from it. I did feel like it was, in a sense, like he had to accept this. You know what I mean? He had no choice. It's right in front of his face. But this has gone on so long that I find it hard to believe that people just... because I'm sorry, 14 people fired and suspended? All the way from the top to... Yeah. That's crazy. I've actually been trying to find a list of the people that were suspended. Fort Hood suspended. See if we can find that. Oh, I hate, headlines. Because this one says, this is why I hate headlines. This one says, at least 14 Army leaders fired or suspended after investigation into Vanessa Guillen. And then this one says, 14 leaders relieved or suspended after scathing report on Fort Hood. But, let's see here what this tells me. I try to watch my resources, too. Sorry. You guys are just kind of along for the ride with me on this. I don't need anything playing in the background. I'm just going to put my computer on mute, and then I don't have to worry about that, right? You hear that happen to people all the time. Music will start, and then your whole thing is just ruined. 14 officers stationed at Fort Hood, including 5 top commanders, after an investigation panel declared they had fostered an environment that contributed to rampant violence, sexual assault, and sexual harassment on base. This comes after at least 25 soldiers assigned to Fort Hood died from suicide, accidents, or homicide. Oh, I guess he also said there would be another investigation to staffing and procedures at the base's Criminal Investigation Command Unit, too. He for sure expressed disappointment in the top brass at Fort Hood. He was not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wait, here we go. Among those fired were Army Major. I'll put this in my descriptions too. Among those fired were Army Major General Scott Eflon, as well as Colonel Ralph Overland and Command Sergeant Major Bradley Knapp. The suspended officers included Major General Jeffrey Broadwater and Commander Sergeant Major Thomas Kinney. Says this is from People. It says People was unable to reach any of them for comment. I'm sure you weren't. It goes on to tell more about, but there's something that says I have to keep that. I had a feeling Eflon had gone, but it was like, did he? Because I thought I read something on that yesterday, but yeah, guys, I had some stuff highlighted too that I wanted to bring out. Like I said, I literally have been like to this computer reading this. But hey, you know what, guys? This is why I wanted to get on here, is because I know this isn't a victory. I know that. But this is the start of a change. This is the start. You have to start somewhere. And I take just me as a person, I will take the little rewards. You know what I mean? Just the whole fact that people are finally seeing and comprehending what I feel like I've been screaming. It makes me feel better. There's still a long way to go. I'm still worried as hell about some things because sometimes it just feels too good to be true. Honestly, like, you worry. But like I said, I do have faith in McCarthy. I truly do. I find him genuinely disappointed, mad. This is a big thing. This is a big thing happening. And especially, I'm really happy that there's going to start being something different done with the soldiers that are called AWOL deserter. So that's awesome. I'm glad they're going to start getting to know the families better. God, where is some of the stuff I highlighted? It was like so rude. Like some of the stuff people had said. It was like the people at the bottom were like, an equal opportunity and NCO's recruiting retention. Sorry. Oh, that was that one. I wanted to go down to the one where they were. Sorry, and I will put this in my description if you want to actually read that. I've been reading it. It's just taken me a while, and sometimes I have to stop because it's just, oh, goodness. Sorry, I have to go back and read more, but I don't. This is on CID. I thought there was stuff that it used to work where you could click your little mouse and it would just go all the way down. Oh, and I was going to tell you guys too, there are spreadsheets on here. There's all that kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff that I've talked about in my other videos is on here. They actually had the highest dirty UAs. Imagine that. Drugs. I can't remember exactly which department it was. ago. Dang. So I literally just got chill bumps. Just the crime rate there is insane on the base, not surrounding city. I love it. People have tried to do this. Well, it's the biggest base, but it doesn't have the most soldiers. You guys forget that part. It's the biggest mileage. And then, oh, well, they're surrounded by Colleen. It's this, it's that. Not on-base crimes. I'm just saying. I always said, if it walks like a duck. Actually, I always mess that up when I say that thing. I'm like one of those awkward people that's horrible about that stuff. Like, see, these are the ones that disturbed me, okay? It says, like, stuff in here about the female soldiers in 3CR, which would be, I'm assuming, 3rd Cavalry, talked about, like, there was just, like, no regard for their privacy. At their barracks, workplaces, I mean, people would walk in on them. A lot of them believe that if an NCO accused of, like, sexual assault was critical to a certain mission, nothing would happen to that NCO. One of them reported being assaulted twice since coming to Fort Hood. Told her platoon sergeant, who told her, you can report it, but nothing will happen. And nothing has happened. Yep. Going in, doing room checks, not knocking, partially dressed. And they working in a hostile environment. It's saying here, numerous female soldiers, I mean, battle with daily advances, and they, I guess, like, openly, aggressively approach these women. And then when they tell their leaders, they say they don't have a way to stop the behavior. Really? I give you guys some ideas to stop that behavior. It pretty much says that type of climate, this, what can I do about it? Sorry he's doing that to you, what you want from me? Kind of bullshit they were doing. That's what turns a climate that quick into a hostile working environment whenever you allow this stuff. You can't go to your leader, the person you expect to help you, and they say, It's just crazy. The stuff we're reading here, or I'm reading here. I wish I could just sit here and read it all to you guys and stuff like that, but there's some, I mean, like I said, it's a lot. Yeah. This is what I was looking for. The command climate at Fort Hood has been permissive of sexual harassment and assault. Oh yeah, this little part right here is saying that this climate there, I mean, this predates 2018. That's just kind of where they looked at. I could have told you all that. This goes back a long, long, long time. That's crazy. I'm trying to find where they said that about the drug testing. It was crazy. But apparently on my highlights last night, I'm kind of upset, honestly. I went through this whole document and I highlighted this and highlighted that, and this is what I'm going to talk about, and this is what I'm going to talk about, and I wrote stuff down I was going to talk about, and then yeah. This is sad. This goes on from reports from soldiers, what they've experienced. But there's definitely a lot here, guys. So I will definitely have this. Oh, here it is, missing soldier protocol. I wanted to look at that. It pretty much says, establish Army-wide protocols for failure to report scenarios for the critical first 24 hours, ensure consistent and robust response. A lot of this I'm quoting, okay? Train and equip NCOs with criteria, knowledge, and skills necessary, to recognize this stuff. Their training, ensure unit soldiers' accountability checks are strictly enforced and documented according to general orders and Army policy. More strict protocols for MPs to respond effectively when contacted by units in possible missing soldier scenarios, such as time lapse 24 hours, is not only critical, that initiates an MP response. That's a quote. Crime prevention response. Oh, these are their suggestions, I'm seeing. But yeah. Command climate issues. Oh yeah, this is their suggestions. It's kind of like, duh. Kind of sad that I lost that, because there was so much here. During the reboot of your monthly crime data shot. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to just find it. But I think I've given y'all a little bit of insight here. There's definitely changes coming. There's definite... I think as long as... Honestly, I think as long as McCarthy stays in it, it's going to be better. I truly do. I get a feeling from him that he freaking cares. I really do. I'm not saying the other ones don't, but I'm saying that, it's hard to bite the bullet and say, yeah, it ain't a good climate here. Yeah. So, I won't bore you guys too much longer. I'm sure you've already clicked off because I'm just sitting here scrolling, trying to find things that stick out. But, all in all, if you're just like, yeah, blah, 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 Miranda, everything will be in the, my description. I just really wanted to, because I've put out so much against Fort Hood that I wanted to give kudos where kudos were due. Even if it's a small, very small victory, because we still have soldiers that we don't know what happened to. So we have something. So I wanted to give, that attention and give that some notice and not just do a full-blown rant at you guys about something. Anyway, I hope you guys take care out there. Love each other. Try to. We'll just say a little that the Independent Review Committee found stuff. Thank goodness they came out with some You know, pretty, I'm sure not easy things to say. So, all in all, I hope you guys have a good one. And yeah, read this stuff, y'all. I think it's going to start popping. Fingers crossed. Bye.